Okay,
We're on?
we're on.
Okay. Call the meeting to order. Approval of the minutes. We can assume everybody read the minutes? Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Michael makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. And all in favor, raise your right hand, please. Opposed? Raise your right hand again, the left hand. Okay, that's passed. Squad reports. Sarah, squad one?
Renovations continue at the building. We have 2 new members and lost one because he went on military orders, so he's gone, but otherwise there's nothing much else going on right now that's not any different from last time. Squad 3's buying new radios, elected new officers, and brought on 4 new people, but that's all I got on them.
So Rescue 3 elected new officers? Who are they?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't write all that down.
That's okay. That's okay.
They're pretty much the same as last year.
Okay. And Tammy?
I don't have anything for 2 or 6 that was brought to my attention. Nothing new going on with 2. I don't have anything that David specifically said anything about.
Call that all good, right?
Yes.
Michael, 3.
I reached out to Tater, and, he was at work the day I reached out to him, and he and I didn't work out for our schedules to line up, so I have nothing from him. And Rescue 5 is doing well.
And Eric is absent. And Rescue 7 and 8. Our new truck coming in. We're fixing the special rescue vehicles that arrived, put a slide in it. Replaced a lot of missing equipment for dive. Calls are starting to pick up. And that's about it. Okay, training committee.
We did not meet at all during February because I was quarantined the whole entire month, and have not set up a meeting since then,
Okay,
so we'll be getting together soon.
and Michael?
No, we did not meet last month.
Okay, and radio. We met twice last month.
Yeah.
God. It is moving along. We got permission to use the Salem water tank as a repeater site, a digital repeater site, which is good. We've sent out letters or emails to the chiefs, rescue and fire, to please send us back a report of what areas in their districts are weak or non-existent for digital communications. We've told everybody that they have a deadline to get that report in, if they want to be considered for us testing in their area for the possibility of erecting a tower and a voting receiver. And there's another deadline of buying digital equipment for their vehicles and members so that they have purchased everything and are ready to go into operation when the county does.
Do you know what that deadline date is?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what that deadline date is?
Well, I think October 1st
Okay.
is supposed to have everything.
Okay.
And January 1st of '22 is when the system will be considered in full operation. And that will be when dispatch starts assigning channels to move to for tactical.
Right.
So some of those channels can be digital channels. Take a big load off the analog channels.
Is the Salem tank the one at Nimmons Bridge and
Yes.
Stamp Creek?
Brandon Burton is working hard at that and got that permission.
Brendan Shirley.
Shirley, thank you. Wrong Brandon. Not Burton.
And we still need, bad spots
Oh, yeah,
from rescue.
from
From everybody, but from all the squad chiefs, if they know where a bad area is, we need that pretty quick.
I have, I'm gonna be sending out a reminder monthly on that.
You said by October.
Because if they don't tell us
Okay.
what bad spots there are, they're gonna be left out. We're gonna consider their area doesn't have any bad spots.
Okay, is the deadline for buying the equipment October 1st, or is that for getting you the,
Getting it
when's
is
the deadline for getting you the dead spot information?
May 1st.
May 1st?
Yes.
Oh, that's May. Okay.
Travis Tilson is presently working with Scott Crine to purchase the equipment. What we're considering doing is, once we know the dead spots in an area, we're gonna bring one of the ladder trucks in, temporarily mount the antenna on top of the ladder truck and raise it up at a fire station, and then the 21 people, I think we can say 3 of them will be there, and one will stay at the repeater or the receiver, and the other 2 will be going to the dead spots that have been reported to us to make sure that placing this new receiver will be worthwhile. We also think that, what is it, Lever Hall
Yes,
in Clemson?
yes.
We're already licensed for an antenna on top of Lever Hall, so we're hoping that that will take care of a lot of those areas in Friendship and or Seneca Orthopedics and that whole area that's dead over there. So hopefully those departments will not have to purchase any equipment. I've heard from Fire Station 8, Fire Station 9, and I think that's it.
10.
Hmm?
10.
10, yes, 10 also. Thank you. Twice from 10, he added to his list. So hopefully that will be improving. I'll copy you all with the emails that I've sent out to them. Okay. So the way it's proposed to be is that there'll be an east, west, and south zone on the radios. And since there can be multiple channels on the zone, it doesn't stop at 16 anymore. Any special channels that a department has to have because of mutual aid or marine work or something like that can be put on the north, or the east, west, or south zone, and everyone will have what they need. That will allow us to, in the future, do over-the-air programming of radios if a new repeater is put in or a new receiver is put in. We won't have to go back and touch each radio anymore. At 2 o'clock in the morning, everyone has turned their radio to a certain channel. And during the evening, all the over-the-air programming will be done, which is save us a heck of a lot of money and time. Okay, next item is, I believe it would be helpful to the squads if there was an SOG for carrying out disciplinary action for rescue personnel. The only things I was able to find were guidelines for paid staff, not for volunteers. I know there have been a few times in the past that squads have gone ahead and done disciplinary action, and it sure would be helpful if there was a guideline so that we could stay out of possible future trouble or repercussions. Any suggestions on how we can move ahead with that?
I can tell you that I talked with Chief Greer today, and we're going to be looking at all the current SOGs. As you can tell, if you've been in ERS, there are multiple copies of some duplicate numbers. We're going to scrub everything.
Good, okay.
Everything needs to be brought up to date.
Do you foresee one SOG that covers fire and rescue?
It'll probably be a generic
Okay,
disciplinary for all.
Okay.
However, you have to understand there'll have to probably be another one just for paid personnel
okay.
due to HR reasons.
Do you foresee that we'll have some input into the final SOGs?
I don't see any reason not.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay. Mike Carroll's report.
All right, how's everybody doing? Good. Let's start off with the rescue physicals. We did start back, there was some financial things that kept us from using Upstate for a while. That's back on, Upstate Medical. We still are using North Greenville, and it's all because of how the money is awarded to them for doing the physicals. Everybody responders will be getting a stress test. No matter which medical agency you go with, Upstate or North Greenville. So, hold on a second.
Is that for levels 1, 2, and 3?
I asked for levels 1 and 2 for going to the scene. It'll be a 1 or a 2. 3s and 4s will be support only. That's non-responders.
So right now, we have level 3s going to scenes for fire and for rescue. So are we doing away with level 3s?
You're doing away with that, anything lower than a 2 responding at this. I would say responding at this time.
Okay, so we're doing away with
You're
level
not doing
3.
away with them. I mean, you're still gonna have a level other than 3 or 2. So
What will that be?
a lower number or a higher number,
Pardon me?
a higher number. I mean, so you're gonna have 1 and 2 that can respond to the scene. And then you're gonna have support personnel, non-responders. We can call them 3s, we can call them 4s. Any questions on that?
That's gonna kill a lot of your older folks and squad members that are showing up for rehab support, non-interactive functions,
Right.
but.
But we all
strictly-
know the biggest killer of responding personnel for the most part between the two is heart attacks and accidents en route to them. Correct? For the most part?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So we want to make sure these people are, for one, these physicals are being passed by members that are in their 70s that we currently have. And they've passed and received a level 1. So it's not keeping out anybody. If people have a true medical condition that can either be, you got to look at it as one way. We're looking out for everybody here. So we're looking out for the responder who may have that condition that you're taking them to an emergency scene and causing a medical emergency with themselves, or en route to this scene, responding emergency.
And
who
if
have
you
that
look
kind
at
of thing.
rehab is a non-emergent response.
Right.
It's a support role,
So that'd be a non-responder, correct?
but they're coming to the incident.
Yeah, that's what we got to look at.
Okay,
What you're going to call it. We
okay,
had a level 3 responder who in some terms the doctors thought were doing this support,
I got
but
you,
when they were getting there, they were actively involved in
understand,
assisting firefighting operations or extrication and rescue operations.
gotcha,
So that's what we got to look at.
makes sense. I
But
was
the
just trying to
physical-
look out for those other folks who do have a role,
Yes.
but are not currently engaged in,
Oh, there's a role
primary
for
activity.
everybody.
okay,
So this is where the different colored ID cards is coming in and all that.
Well, the helmets were for fire and fire scenes, and rescue will have helmets too
Okay.
on the scenes. But the different color ID cards, it has been thought about and kicked around.
I just know we talked about it last time and there was never really an ending to that. It was, oh, by
Right.
the way, we're probably gonna change the cards, and then we moved on.
Right.
So I just didn't know if we had anything new with that.
Nothing new on that.
Okay.
All right.
Any timetable to these changes?
The physicals are going on right now. So if you're going to North Greenville or upstate, you will get a level 1 physical and up to the doctor's determination on what you can be after that.
What about people who have gotten their physicals already and are due for another one? Will these new rules apply to them starting at their next physical?
You would have to.
Okay.
Unless authority higher than I changes that.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Unless authority other than my changes it. Because you know you're putting yourself, your departments, and yourself at liability and the county. So what we gotta look at is people who go to their private doctors and get cleared. Are they getting cleared with a current, like everyone else, with a stress test and all the other stuff? Or are the doctors just going, yeah, you can go help at the firehouse? So it needs to be standardized more than it currently is.
So as of right now, people can schedule with Upstate. As of now?
They can schedule through Cindy in the
Oh,
office.
well, okay,
Yes,
that's what I meant, through Cindy.
yes,
But with Upstate,
yes.
okay.
With that said, our next physicals with North Greenville are April the 8th, and they will be at Corinth Shallow. Recruitment. I know Company 4 has picked up another couple of members. We have a lot of current members that went through EMR class that are running with 11/4 now, with Fire 11, and helping out Rescue 4. We need probably like part of the future planning committee. I don't know if we can take part and have like a recruitment and retention committee. Come up with that. There's some grants out there for getting volunteers that we can look at to help us with that, maybe advertising. Get some of the local news agencies and radio stations and everywhere else involved. The new staffing, as you know, we have a lot of new guys going through recruit class. They're doing firefighter now, I think starting EMR, starting April. So we're gonna have a lot of new people out there. It's gonna take some time to get these people trained up. So we're gonna put them with experienced personnel. Chief Greer went out last night, the fire commission, also at the fire chiefs meeting. So give us some time to get these people and get out on the street. Anybody have questions on anything so far?
With the new recruits, does that fill all the vacant slots? Or will there still be some vacancies?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll get back to you on that one.
Thank you.
With that said, POV response. I handed out some of the SOGs and some of them the old ones. I want to give everybody history on how many different things we've been through here. Chief Greer talked about it last night, the Fire Commission. Chiefs have talked about it. Basically, comes down to current one where we're gonna have the rear responding vehicle, it has to meet the requirements of the South Carolina Code. Everybody knows that, right? You can't run the lights and siren and just be an amber light or not 360 or no siren. Everybody, we have rules to follow just like anybody in a marked fire vehicle or rescue vehicle. So have the chiefs looking at this SOG, and like I said, it's gonna be updated also, but go back through the steps that we had where these vehicles are inspected. Just make sure they meet the requirements of response vehicle, make sure that the person's insurance company knows they're using it and that they have insurance and the proper training to do this. And you pretty much, if you're using it as a response vehicle, not sure, I would say equipment wise too, if ever using that vehicle as a response vehicle to the scene for a rescue squad member, we want to make sure they're showing up if they're using it as a response member. This was the chiefs can work on. A plan, and we talked about this and kicked it around in the past, to have a bag, an inventory of what you should have as a first responder.
Are we going to use I think it was a DHEC suggested list that went around a couple of years ago, one for EMT, one for EMR?
Well, DHEC doesn't really stipulate what an EMR can carry. I think we need to look at it with our medical director and kick it off with her and give her an email saying, hey, this is what we want to have. This meets our requirements because we operate with our EMRs under Prisma, Dr. Mannion. And to say, this is what we want to have as a basic bag. This is what's going to, help immediately. A lot of squads went out and purchased a lot of their members AEDs, so that a lot of the AEDs are out there. Make sure they have the minimum stuff to do some good intervention. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Any questions on the POV response? I know it's pretty wordy. Like I said, we want to clean these things up and get your thoughts back. Everybody has the email, thoughts back. And so really basically, it's, your people, who's doing business right, and we want you to, take care of yourselves. Epi-Narcan. It's been going good. Like I said, I'm available to do this training. Rescue 1, which has not a lot of EMRs at this time, a lot of EMTs and paramedics, has gotten Epi kits. That helps out because the price is very minimum compared to an EpiPen. They also have Narcan now, most of the unit, all the units. Rescue 2 has acquired EpiPens and Narcan, so they're up with their units. I have not heard from 3. Rescue 22, actually are getting the newer version of the EpiPens that I found was able to start getting cheaper. It's a different model than we had, but we're gonna do the training at their next meeting. And I provided them with some trainers and for a couple of the members to go over right now. But they are equipped with it. Rescue 4, nothing yet. 5, one of your members is equipped up. I'm sorry, 2, actually. 6, nothing yet. And then 7 and 8 are nothing, not a need right now since they have wildland medics coming in with them. Fire 3, I've talked to them about their first responders and getting them set up. Also, they want to they're gonna start coming to the Rescue Chiefs meeting. Fire 12, I did training with them, and I hope to get them involved in the Rescue Chiefs meeting also. Anybody have any questions on those?
What about 14?
14, not yet, but their members recently went through the research class with EMR, so most of them are good with it, because I've taught it at all the recent EMR classes. They just, with the supplies. But right now, I don't know if you know, Prisma has added a second supervisor during the day, and they are actually stationed during the day out of the picket post station. So you have another medic ALS resource closer to that side of the county. At night, since there's not a living quarters for them, they're actually staying over at the sheriff's substation next to Rescue 22 in Kiowee Key. But that's helped out a lot here recently.
It's been so great.
Yes.
Yes.
As far as the Epi and Narcan, has the other sets that we ordered for Rescue 5 come in or available? Or?
I'll have to get with you after this.
Okay.
In the mix of trying to spread it out, I should have another shipment of Narcan coming soon.
Okay.
Anybody have questions on those? And I think that's it, unless I can come up with add one that kind of goes into the training. What did I do with my notes? The current, April is a month for our continuing ed for the EMTs. We're gonna work on it with the EMRs also, but right now, currently the EMTs, it's the 20 and the 22nd. And I believe it's trauma, right here. I think it's trauma, the daytime is the 20th, and the nighttime is the 22nd. And that's with our Help of Prisma training officer coming in and doing this for us. And both those classes are at headquarters conference room or training room in Westminster.
I wonder if there could be a way that those who attend those classes could automatically receive a copy of the sign-in sheet, because when it comes time to recert,
We're working on that to where, and it's all through this, and you got to give me a minute on this one, the new Continuum, which is, if you remember Continuum and DHEC, you go and log your stuff. Well, they changed it to a new image trend. There's a lot of issues that are people putting their training in and training officers between the two systems. So we're actually getting Dan, affiliated as ours, training to input this stuff directly into both.
oh, that's great. That'll help a lot.
And I'm working on it too, to be able to do it nationally and along with Brady.
Super.
It's taking a little bit of time because the systems, I don't think, is working the way they wanted it to work.
Well, we've got another year or two till the next time, so
They'll probably change it again.
probably. Thank you, Mike. Is that it?
Only other thing is we're working with an EMR refresher class between Kiowee and Salem. Salem's hosting it. It's going to be outside the normal training. Just going to get a class number and get some instructors and put them up there in their area doing it. And that's probably going to be about 20 EMR research. So we're coming along. A number of EMR students. I know the last class was a little slow. I think we only had 9 students total. But total countywide, where numbers are looking real good on EMRs
Super.
and EMTs. There's some EMT courses coming out through Upstate. So I sent that out to everyone not too long ago. If no one has any questions, I think that's it.
Do you know, I'm sorry, do you know when that refresher class is?
No, we're still working on the dates. It's basically the instructors are, everybody's booked. For the most part, we're gonna have an instructor fit it in.
Have an instructor what?
She's gonna fit it into her schedule.
Okay.
And run it through Upstate.
And Tara
No,
or Kate?
no.
Oh. Okay. How about Kayla?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna say no on every name you give me until they
okay.
give me 100% yes.
Never mind. I didn't mean to pry.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay to move along?
That's fine.
Okay. Like to break out into executive session now?
I need a motion and a vote on that.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we move to executive session.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor, right hand? All opposed, left hand? Okay, and that motion passed.
We're back.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion that we break out of executive session, and move back into this? Somebody?
I'll make a motion, we move out of executive session back into regular business.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, right hand? All opposed, left hand? Okay, that's passed. And we need to vote on the personnel matter that we have decided on. All those who vote for number 1, please raise your right hand. All those who vote for number 2, please raise your right hand. And all those who vote for number 3, please raise your right hand. Okay. So that is decided, and we move right into adjournment. Someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Michael, a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise